Check 1, 2.
We're good?
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Bears Talk Live. Before a nice, large crowd, maybe the largest of the season, we're ready to bring you another fine show of Lenoir-Rhyne athletics. And why not? We'll begin kicking off with football. The Bears coming off a big win in Newberry last week. They put the Bears at 5-1 and 4-0 in the South Atlantic Conference. That victory also got LR some more national recognition, now up to 29th in the college football Division II rankings. With me, as always, head coach of the Bears, Drew Cronick. Coach, congratulations on that big win last week.
Thank you. It was good to get it.
Hey, let's talk about the game. Let's dive right into it. The Bears got behind 14-0 early. What was the mood like? What was the talk on the sidelines to get back in?
Honestly, I was really disappointed with us in the first half. I didn't think we played very hard. Didn't think we responded very well early. I think we probably had a lot of excuses on our mind. And fortunately, we were able to play ourselves back into the game. Obviously, the punt returns were huge. We really challenged them at halftime, and we came back out the second half. And really, what we told them was, guys, we're not playing at the level we can play at, because we weren't. And so defense shut them out the second half. Offense moved the ball a little bit better. Obviously, got another punt return, and field position really helped us special teams wise. So it was good to finish the way we did, but we've got to learn to start a little better than we started.
When you look at a team sometimes, and the Bears have had a lot of success, is it good that they face that kind of adversity and then overcome it?
It is. I mean, it's always good when you can come back and win against a quality opponent. Newberry has a good football team. But what I want to really challenge our guys with is showing up ready to go, understanding the moment, not shrinking in the moment. And, I thought, being average is easy, and we're trying to be great. And when I turn on the film, I didn't see great, especially the first half. And the standard is always going to be from now on, as long as I'm here, is that we play at a certain level. And that's what we challenged our guys with this week. It doesn't matter who we're playing, whether they're a good team, bad team, undefeated, or hadn't won a game, we have to play a certain way. And that's what we're going to challenge them with this week.
Offensively, was there a turning point or a spark that got you guys going, or was it just you guys realizing that you can play better and then hearing from the coaches?
I think it was. I think we started to realize offensively. I think sometimes we don't always have a lot of confidence yet, and I think we started to say, hey, we can move the ball, and we wore on them a little bit. They got a little tired. It's a little easier to block them when the big guys get tired. So I thought we played better as we kind of got into the game and got a little more confident, and we played better as the game went on. That's good to see.
Let's talk about the punt returns, and we'll get back a little bit more of the offense and obviously the defense. And some breaking news, Kyle Duggar is number one player in terms of plays of the week in Division II, NCAA Division II. Just released it not too long ago.
Wow.
He got the number one play of the week. Not only play, but plays. His punt returns, how much did that jack up the sideline to see that happen?
Well, a lot. I mean, Kyle obviously is a special talent. And it's very unusual for someone to have the ability to play in space like he does at that size. Usually the big guys like that are more of a vertical guys and get north and south. He has the ability to move laterally and make people miss. At the same time, he's 220 pounds, so he's really hard to get on the ground. So I wouldn't punt it to him if it was me. I appreciate them doing that, and I hope people continue to punt it to him. But we want to try to get him opportunities in space. I'm probably crazy for not playing him on offense some. But he's a special talent. And, yes, we were down, I think, 14-7. We had gone down, and they had a goal line stand, and we held him down there. And he had a really good punt return. I think we had the ball in about the 25, so we had a 25-yard drive. And then they stopped him again, and he returned the next punt for a touchdown. So now suddenly the game's tied. So really the momentum shifted back, and then he did it again in the third quarter. And I think that probably took the wind out of their sails at Newberry a little bit. And then we played better offensively. We had an 80-yard drive where we did not attempt to pass there right after that. He returned the punt to tie us at 21, defense held them, and then we had an 80-yard drive. So I think that kind of really got things going our way.
Yeah, that go the entire way. How unusual was it to see somebody like Gunnar Anderson step in under center and perform the way he did? How would you evaluate the way he played?
Well, we asked him not to turn the ball over, and we did not have a turnover. And Gunnar is a winner, okay? He's a really good, smart kid, and it was his first game, obviously. A few months ago he was in high school. And so he didn't play great, but he went out there and managed what was going on. And he will play better now that he's got a game under his belt. So I was really pleased that he didn't shrink in the moment, took care of the ball, and gave us a chance to let other guys make plays, and we were able to do some things on offense.
I was surprised a little bit when you talked about that long drive for the go-ahead touchdown. You went down the field and didn't throw a pass, ran the ball each and every time. That I didn't see many adjustments over on the defensive side. Did that surprise you a little bit?
Well, there was a lot of tempo in that series. So we hope we don't let them make a lot of adjustments. You're hoping that what we do is so many formations, so much movement, so unusual, something different from what they see, that it's very hard to make adjustments right there on the field, especially when it's coming at you that fast.
How about defensively? We were up in the booth right next door to all the defensive coaches. They were probably in a booth as big as the space between you and I.
Yep.
They obviously were disappointed early on at some of the big plays that Newberry hit. But in the second half, no points, shut them out in the second half, and when the game was on the line, they shut them down.
They did.
What about the defensive performance last week?
Second half, outstanding. Back to what it should be.
Yeah.
Because when we do what we're supposed to do defensively, we got some good players, and Josh does a great job putting a plan together. And the second half, it was a lot more like what we need to see.
As you look ahead now, coming in, it's homecoming week. So many things going on surrounding homecoming. Still a young football team, and coming off, you said, was subpar performance offensively for the Bears. What has been the focus and the talking points this week for your young football team?
That we're playing against us, always, our standard. I really challenged them yesterday. And we're going to play a certain way no matter who we're playing, whether we're playing in the parking lot at midnight. We're going to do things this way, or you're not going to be around very long. And the kids took that well. They practiced pretty good last night. They practiced pretty good this afternoon, I thought. So I don't want us to always look at the scoreboard. I want us to look at what we're doing, how hard we're playing, how well we're executing, because we want to get to a point where we're winning national championships, not just beating Newberry. That is where we're headed, and our kids have to understand that every week, and that's a process, figuring that out. Getting the glue to dry on that. So we're going to continue to challenge them with that. I'm sure everybody's telling them how wonderful they are right now, and that Limestone obviously is a situation where they haven't won a game. Heck, they had West Alabama beat. You got to go play every week. In this league, there's not a lot of difference between the best team and maybe what would someone consider the worst team. So we have to play against us, our standard. We have to get better every week. If we'll do that, we'll have a chance to really have a special season.
As an overall team, not playing, as you mentioned, up to your standards, is there a specific area that you'd like to see improve?
Yeah, I'd like to see us play hard right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I'd like to see us play a lot harder right out of the gate, and that be the only speed we know, as hard as we can go.
That's pretty simple. That's a pretty simple message.
Yes, sir.
And I was not surprised, but I understand now talking to you that you didn't have any offensive players of the week to announce.
We did not.
Okay.
We're not going to give out awards. They're going to have to be earned.
Yeah.
And
that's
defensively, Javor Smith had a really good game. Our young corner, he really locked down that guy, made a huge interception at the end of the game, made several tackles, made tackles on special teams. Obviously Kyle Duggar with the big punt returns was our special teams player of the week. We did not have a heavy hitter of the week this week. Those are things that we're going to have to earn. And so next week I hope we have guys get those awards.
You mentioned Limestone. They played some close games, but yet last week they gave up a bunch of points to Carson Newman, I believe. And what can you tell the fans out there about a Limestone football team that the Bears did beat last year down in Gaffney, and maybe the best performance of the season of last year's team? What does Limestone have this year with a new coach? What do they have this year that you see?
Well, Defensively, they line up in everything. I mean, they play even front, odd front, under, over, they blitz. They do a lot of things. Now, sometimes that ain't a good thing. Hopefully that's, plays into our hands. Hopefully we can, they're doing so many things defensively that, that we can get after them. Offensively, they got a big old tall quarterback. They can throw it around a little bit. They really got two good running backs. I think those guys are good players. They're scoring some points, and I really got a lot of respect for the coach down there. So what we have to understand now is we're in first place in the league. Everybody is going to fire every bullet they have at us. You're going to get everybody's best game every weekend, and that's what we want. That's what I want. I want people I want us to set the standard. So hopefully we can continue to grow and understand those things and keep putting ourselves in good situations.
There's a big difference between being the hunters and being the hunted, and the Bears are being the ones that are hunted right now.
But I want us to grow into that. I want us to be used to that. I want us to be used to getting everybody's best shot and that making us better every week, and we'll get there.
Do you bother yourself a whole lot with all the homecoming activities?
Well, I mean, we want to be a part of that as much as possible because it's a big deal. It's a big deal to a lot of people. And we appreciate all the things that are going on, everybody coming back and all that. At the same time, I want to have a team that's focused on the job because the best thing you can do as a football team for homecoming is win the game. So that's what we want to do.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations on the great start. Continue. Good luck.
Thank you.
Head coach Drew Cronick, fans, let's give him a hand. His Bears are 5-1. It's homecoming this coming weekend, 2 o'clock between the bricks. We're on the air at 1:45, and don't forget all the exciting activities surrounding homecoming. We're going to bring up and continue with some success of another Lenoir-Rhyne athletic team. Come on, Coach. Coach Jack Winters, the men's soccer team, on a roll right now. Their head coach is Jack Winters, team 6-3, 5-1 in the South Atlantic Conference. Coach, congratulations on the nice little winning streak and your recent victory knocking off Queens. First, talk about what has helped your team come together and win these last 3 matches.
That's a complex question. It's been a very, very challenging journey so far, and I think that's the difference in the last couple of games, 3 or 4 games, is we've been tested in pretty much every way there is to be tested in collegiate soccer. And the boys have come through it with different challenges, different scenarios, different environments, played against completely different teams. And I think because we've done that and been tested and come through and shown our strength and resilience, we're able to face these good teams and play the way we want to with confidence and freedom. So, I can't give enough credit to the team. They've been absolutely superb.
In talking with you the last couple of times, I get the feeling that a lot of the things you just heard Coach Cronick say is some of the same kind of standards you have set with the program here at Lenoir-Rhyne for the men's soccer team. Is that very similar?
Yeah, absolutely. I think me and Drew probably share quite a lot in common when it comes to the culture we're trying to create and the environment we're trying to create for these young people. The main thing people speak about when they speak about culture is the human beings, the people side of it. And it comes all the way down from the coaching staff, the support staff, and the people we recruit. I'm happy to say that we easily have the best coaching staff in the country. The support staff is on the same level, and they set the standards for the players. And when you're a player, you hear a lot about senior leadership, and you don't really believe in that cliche as much as you do until you become a coach. And that group that we have in the team currently, that senior leadership group, has been fantastic. It's like having 9 coaches on the field for you, which makes a hell of a lot of difference. So, that's been a big difference maker for this season.
When you look at a team, the last time we talked to you, you were kind of back and forth about how this team was going to develop, and you talked about the process and the things that have to happen for the team to go in the direction that you want it to go. Talk about how that has happened, especially during this recent winning streak.
Yeah, it's a new team. It's a brand new team with a lot of returning players, but the same amount of new players. So it was going to take some time, and in collegiate sports, it's always difficult to tell them to be patient when it comes to outcome. But with regards to the way we're playing and what we're asking them to do on the field, It was always going to take some time to get used to one another's styles and to get used to how we coached and the things we wanted them to do on the field. And now those lessons and those challenges that we've faced where the outcome hasn't been the desired one, it started to change in our favor, and they started to see how effective and efficient they can become in the way that we're asking them to play. And the results come from that, as long as we continue to focus on the fact that the result isn't the be-all and end-all. You're going to win, you're going to lose in sport. But if you continue to do the right things, then more likely than not, the outcome's going to be the desired one.
You talked about the team now coming up next. You have match tomorrow. But as you look at this team and what Coach Cronick just mentioned, being the team that is now being hunted, you're at or near the top of the South Atlantic Conference. Is that different for this team now that they've gotten there? What do you tell them to say, hey, now everybody's going to be playing their best, and you got to get their best shot? What is that like?
I don't know if the players feel like that. I certainly don't feel like that. I think because of what we did last year, I think we wear that kind of crown, as it were. We didn't win anything last year, but we were challenging for pretty much everything last year. So I think due to the fact that those achievements occurred last year, I think teams will always play hard against us. But we have a lot of experienced heads in the team, and we have a lot of experienced coaches who have been either at that level or played even higher. So, we're able to communicate that it's business as usual. Teams are going to play you hard, but if you do the right things and continue on the same track, then you'll be fine. It's not a matter of saying one game is bigger than the other. The players understand where we are in the standings, and they understand that we've won nothing. This program has won nothing yet. So there is no need to get ahead of yourselves.
5-1 in the league, on the road tomorrow at Tusculum. Talk about that match. What do you expect there?
Yeah, that'd be difficult. Just speaking to Hector and his family and our coaching staff, it's a tough game. Tusculum play very good football, and I've got a lot of respect for their head coach, Alan, who's been there for a while, and their field is huge, and it's a long travel, and it won't be an easy game by any means. Tusculum's record doesn't reflect on the team they are, because they're strong, they're dynamic, they move the ball quickly, they've got good players in almost every position. So tomorrow really becomes another cup final for us. It has the same level of importance of the other games, but we need to play it to our maximum intensity to try and get a result, because it's going to be a difficult test for us again.
Coach, good luck. Continue good luck. The Bears have won 3 straight matches as they go on the road to Tusculum. Let's give head coach Jack Winters a big hand as the Bears soccer team at the top of the South Atlantic Conference right now and looking to make the playoffs once again, having been to the NCAA playoffs for each of the last 2 years. We mentioned it's homecoming this weekend. With homecoming, all kind of activities around campus, and prior to the homecoming game on Saturday, and before we get to Bob Fincher, I saw Eric Brandon out in the audience tonight. This weekend, homecoming, you always celebrate championship football teams, and the number 8 has been very special to Lenoir-Rhyne. They won the old North State Championship in 1958. They won the Carolinas Conference Football Conference Championship in 1968. In 1988, the Bears won their second ever South Atlantic Conference Championship. 30th anniversary celebration coming up this weekend on campus. They're going to have Coach John Perry there as well, and some of the players are coming back on campus. And, of course, this is the 5-year reunion of the team that made it all the way to Alabama in the national championship. So a lot to celebrate in terms of football, and a lot to celebrate with the history of Lenoir-Rhyne and the Bears Club as they celebrate this weekend with a lot going on. The Vice President of the Bears Club Council, Mr. Bob Fincher, himself a former football player at Lenoir-Rhyne. Bob, welcome to Bears Talk Live.
Juju, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So tell us what's going on this weekend with the Bears Club. You got a golf tournament. You got the gala going on. Let's first attack. The first thing that happens is the golf tournament. What's happening there, and what if people that are watching want to get involved?
Sure, yeah. This weekend is a big weekend for the Bears Club. Of all the things that we do, this is one of the biggest opportunities for us to connect with fans, supporters, friends, and family of Lenoir-Rhyne athletics. And so it's a great opportunity for us to be able to raise some money, raise some awareness with our mission, which is to really connect and enhance the student-athlete experience that they have at Lenoir-Rhyne. And so the first thing we have is the Bears Club Hanley Painter Bear Memorial Golf Tournament. And so that's going on all day Friday. In fact, right now we've already sold out all of our morning times. Our morning tee times are completely full. We do have a few, I think Terry told me we have a few afternoon foursomes available for a special price of $125 per golfer or $500 per team. So there are still some spots available for the afternoon tee times.
So for fans watching tonight, they want to get involved, just call the Bears Club offices immediately starting. Terry, you're going to be in your office tonight? They can give you a call. Okay, so you can call tonight.
Anytime.
Immediately.
I could just give her cell phone number.
Yeah, I'll be happy to, yeah.
Reach her that way.
But nonetheless, you contact the Bears Club, contact Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics for that going on. Then, after the golf tournament, big event coming on Friday night. Talk about that.
Yeah, we have our annual Bears Club Gala, and this is just a fantastic opportunity to get together with old Lenoir-Rhyne sports alums and just kind of reminisce about things that are happening and things that have happened in your life since you were here, and really celebrate all the great things that Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics is doing now. And so looking forward to that event. One of the key pieces of that has always been our silent auction. Yeah. And, again, everything that we do really is generating additional dollars to help enhance the student-athlete experience. And so the silent auction is one of the ways that we do that. Historically, that's all been on site. And now, for the first time this year, we actually have an online portal that has all of the auction items already up. In fact, you can start bidding on them right now. I think Terry told me that there's 50-plus auction items that are on the website right now. So you can just go to any of the social media posts for the Bears Club or go to the Bears Club website and get a link to the online auction.
The Hall of Fame weekend, of course, is another event that's going on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. as they welcome in 5 new members into the Lenoir-Rhyne Sports Hall of Fame, 42nd annual induction ceremonies for the Hall of Fame. You've been involved with the Bears Club. How did you play football back in the late 90s, early 2000s? What made you want to come back and get involved in the Bears Club?
Well, it was one of those things where I met my wife while I was at Lenoir-Rhyne, and we settled in Hickory and started our family. And really, I think Lenoir-Rhyne is probably the single greatest asset that Catawba County has. And my experience with Lenoir-Rhyne football and with just being a student there as well as a student athlete was something that really kind of shaped who I am and something I really like to reflect fondly on. And so getting to know Neil a few years ago and getting plugged into the Bears Club just seemed like a real good fit. Our family loves being out there supporting, whether it's football or soccer or lacrosse or whoever's playing. We like to be around to see what's going on there.
And when you see some of the fans from either Friday and then coming up either a golf tournament and then on Saturday, if some fans out there that they're watching, how can they get involved in the Bears Club?
Yeah, I think the best thing for you to do really is to join the Bears Club, because that's going to be the easiest conduit for you really connecting with things that are happening with Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Not only is you being a member of the Bears Club going to benefit the student athletes, but also it gives you access to really all the information and all the communication about what's going on. And it doesn't have to be just for football. It doesn't have to be just for soccer. Wherever your passion is, if you can give and join the Bears Club directly through that sport, that's a great way to do it and really get connected to what's going on with those sports.
And that's part of what we've seen as the major change or the shift in the Bears Club since they changed over back, I guess, in the springtime 6 or 8 months ago. Talk about that a little bit for fans that have not heard what has changed or what is continuing to change with the Bears Club.
I think for most fans who are connected with the Bears Club or have been a part of what we call the Piedmont Educational Foundation Club, really not a lot's changed. You still have the ability to help support Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics financially, but also to be engaged and involved in things that are happening. But one of the real big differences and one of the things that has changed is there's a much more coordinated effort between what the athletic department is doing, what the Bears Club is doing as far as being a booster type organization, and then really what the university is doing through advancement. So now that you have all of those pieces working together really for the same goal, which is to help the student athletes. And so we've never had that kind of synergy before, and we've never had that kind of cooperation. So that's been a really exciting change for us.
And the Bears Club, formerly Piedmont Education Foundation, has been around for, over 70 years? Since
Over 70 years.
Since 1946, so 72 years, I guess that's it. It's great seeing you, great talking to you. Did I miss anything about you? Want to say anything that I may have missed or not asked you?
No, I don't think so, other than the gala Friday night. Certainly there are still tickets available for that. That event is going to be at Moretz Mills from 7 to 11. And let's see, we've got the silent auction, Gary Lauder, and the Smokin' Hot.
That's
the
one
band.
thing I missed,
So
yes.
I want to make
The
sure that we
entertainment.
give them a little bit of a plug. So 7 to 11 Friday night, and we'd love for you to be there. So if anybody wants to buy a ticket to that or to come to that, please give the Bears Club office a call.
All right, Bob, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Go Bears. Bob Fincher, who is the Vice President of the Bears Club Council, joining us tonight here on Bears Talk Live. That's been a great show. We had a great audience. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, all the coaches that are tuning in. And don't forget, each and every Tuesday night right here from the Blowing Rock Brewery, we are here with another edition of Bears Talk Live. Hope to see everybody out at the stadium this weekend. Hall of Fame activities at the gala even, and the golf tournament. Should be a great weekend with Lenoir-Rhyne Athletics. Thanks a lot for everybody who's here tonight. Thank you for watching. Until next week, I'm Juju Phillips. So long, everyone, and go Bears.